The governor of the Central Bank of Somalia, Abdi Salam Omer, has denied allegations contained in a United Nations report which essentially argued that he was responsible for gross financial irregularities at the bank, which that report described as operating as a slush fund. The governor challenged the UN to set up an independent audit to look into the operations of the bank, as he believes that everything there has been done transparently. And as he told CCTV's Mohammed Hirmoge, his role stops at advising the government, and he says he's not responsible for whether or not the government implements his recommendations. Here's some excerpts from that conversation.
A new UN report indicates that the Central Bank of Somalia is used to push private and not national interest. What do you say of the allegations of irregularities that millions of dollars have been withdrawn from the Central Bank of Somalia to private accounts?
I am completely surprised, perplexed that a representative of reputable organizations as the United Nations can make such allegations without doing their due diligence, without inviting me and talking to me, and without visiting the central bank. I believe that these allegations are baseless, are malicious, and are uncalled for.
Did you audit and found out that indeed these allegations are quite baseless and does not stand on facts?
We have looked into the books, and this is the fact. Almost $17 million have been sent from PricewaterhouseCoopers and Transitional Federal Government account from Nairobi to the Central Bank of Somalia between 2011 and 2012. There were representatives from this Ministry of Finance, representative from the Central Bank of Somalia, representative from PricewaterhouseCoopers, representative from the remittance company or Hawala company that have signed in, and the Accountant General of the Federal Republic of Somalia have completed the paperwork and put it into the single treasury account.
Have you since reacted to the UN report? Has PricewaterhouseCoopers as an audit firm reacted to this, and what did they say if they did so?
I don't know what PricewaterhouseCoopers did, but what we did is we wrote them a letter. We'll give you that letter. We have a copy of the letter that they're rejecting their ways, rejecting their rumors and their fishes information that they have spreading. And I want to challenge the monitoring group of the United Nations. Let's hire an independent audit. Let's hire an independent audit that doesn't work for them, that doesn't work for the Central Bank of Somalia, and come to the truth. I want to assure you, all the money that was sent from Pricewaterhouse in 2011 and 2012, which is in question, have arrived to the Central Bank of Somalia, have been deposited into the treasury account of the Ministry of Finance in a legal and proper way, and we can prove it. Also, I want to assure you, all the money that has been taken out from the Central Bank of Somalia went out in a process that's legal and legitimate. What's left is that when money leaves the Central Bank of Somalia, did it really go to the beneficiary? If it was for children, did it go to the children? If it was for salaries, did it go to the salaries? That the Ministry of Finance have to answer, and the departments of the government. I believe, though, there are no $12 million people put in their pockets that are missing. In addition to that, I'm the one who was accused of being the person. How does an advisor become the middle of all this? I don't decide.
From the defense of the Somali Central Bank governor, let's move on to South Africa, where a group of young entrepreneurs are challenging Africans to take charge of their future and create solutions locally to deal with the continent's problems. Thoughtworks is a global tech company that's walking the talk. It brings together young, talented individuals to find real solutions to social and economic problems on the continent, mainly through tech. With the details, here's CCTV's Sumitra Naidu.
Brain Leke joined Thoughtworks just over a year ago. Originally from Cameroon, he studied in South Africa and has traveled the world. But his heart lies in Africa.
If you go to any African nation, go to any African universities, there's a lot of graduates completing out there. Computer science, maths, your science degrees, your engineering degrees. Where all of these people ended up? The really smart ones get taken away out of the continent and they're placed in San Francisco or London or Hamburg or maybe sometimes anywhere else in the world. But what if these people stayed in the continent?
But the main aim of Thoughtworks is to develop software that will improve the lives of all Africans, even in the most remote parts of the continent. While most of Africa is still poor, cell phone penetration is high, but new smartphone technology is not as accessible. Brain believes that Africans need to find technology solutions that apply to the African context.
What we've realized is the African continent has been shortchanged. You've got your global companies that come here and develop software from the global offices, say in the US, say in London, and dump these technologies to the African continent. But we believe that it's high time that this is developed in Africa.
Thoughtworks has several projects on the go in Africa, all aimed at improving the daily lives of people in the outlying areas as opposed to cities where incomes are higher and there's easier access to new technologies. There's also a focus on teaching people to use existing technologies to their benefit.
We've got a project with one of our clients which addresses the social issues in Uganda, where a normal citizen on the street can report something which they feel the government should address by using an SMS. Now that gives a citizen the power to start controlling what the government does with their money.
Thoughtworks is growing its reach in Africa by recruiting young graduates locally and finding African talent abroad. The company wants Africans to come back home to help make a contribution to developing their continent. Sumitra Nadu, CCTV, Johannesburg.
Right, at 10:25 GMT, here's a quick run through the market. Some fairly interesting data coming out of Egypt. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's start with Nigeria. The market, the All-Share Index over there, down by just over a quarter. The JSE All-Share Index, however, in the green by 1.2 percentage points, or, well, as near as makes no difference. The 20-share index in Nairobi closing the day marginally in the green yesterday. Pretty much the same story so far in early trade. We'll keep tabs on that. Some interesting market developments over there as well. Finally, Egypt. The market is up 6.38 percentage points so far in trading today. The currency side and the bond side, however, totally different story. 12-month forwards on the Egyptian pound are down 8.1%. At least they were yesterday. And the projection there essentially is that the market's expecting a depreciation of something on the order of 22 percentage points on the currency. Bond yields also went up by about 55 or so basis points in trading yesterday to 10.77% on 10-year paper.